cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Oh, hey folks, how you doing there? How you doing? 11 days or 12 days counting down until, the fat guy stuffs himself in the chimney. And, well, let's just say last year's interaction with the red-suited elf type dude really didn't work out so good. I happen to have, audio reproduction of what, Sound Guy did. There's only one way to say it, and it's just literally what he does. It's why he does it, and considering that he's dealing with a fictional character, it's a good thing because, they kind of have that whole cartoon style reboot. Zach, appreciate you coming by, dude. So yeah, it's Sound Guy being Sound Guy. Just the stuff that he does is just unbelievably. Well, you kind of have to hear it for yourself. So what did he do? Well, he did. Well, he did this. Patron Fever in the room. Appreciate you coming by. Like I was just saying a second ago, Sound Guy did something to Santa, and let's just say it wasn't particularly nice. But I'll let you hear it for what it's worth as to what he did.
Ho, ho, ho. Say, I was wondering what Sound Guy wanted with that industrial shop vacuum. He installed it in the chimney. What a naughty boy.
As I was saying earlier, it's a good thing that Santa's a fictional character and he does those cartoon style reboots because, just when you think he's just a dead duck, he's back from,
No zone.
No, Santa doesn't come from the no-no zone. No. He's just here, okay? There's no other way to say it. There's no game over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
He was waiting for that one. No, he doesn't come from the
no-no zone.
I did that one. He doesn't come from the no-no zone, okay? Patriot Fever, be right back. Need to investigate something happening next door. Uh-oh. Martina Sasquatch in the room. Appreciate you coming by, dude. Okay, so looking at news and good stuff like that there. The house is ready to flip. Pelosi galore is getting unceremoniously. I don't know about that, but she's basically getting told to leave, okay? Because
I say we take off and nuke the entire bitch for Morbid.
I don't know about that one, but she's definitely going bye. So anyway, look at those things as it is that, the GOP is going to be taking control of the House. The Democrats will have control of the Senate. As a libertarian, and as a staunch libertarian, constitutionalist conservative, two houses in opposition, we don't get squat done. I'm for it. I'm absolutely for it because that lessens the amount of liberties that they can extract from you on a daily basis. Going, we need to, Thor's hammer here, unfortunately, folks, but we need to do something. Ugh. Yeah, and unfortunately, every time they do something, they're bemoaning and just bemoaning the fact that they have to fix all these things as they're sitting in their offices, probably doing not a whole hell of a lot except for seeking re-election. And the whole time their staff is just running around. Oh, yeah. Facilitating, making phone calls, fundraising, and seeking the insertion of these Congress critters and senators to stay in there as a lifetime appointment where truly It was never, ever intended for them to be in there for all that long. So that's where we find ourselves is we have these guys who said, oh, yeah, we need to be in here for a long enough time to get things done. Now, the time that you guys have spent in there and done absolutely nothing, really, when it comes time to just look at DC.
I say we take off and nuke the entire bitch from orbit.
It just needs to have happen. It's too much of the same thing being controlled of, expanded upon, collaterally stacked upon to simply just say that they are the guys in charge. And anytime that you try to say anything different, yeah, the BS flies, okay? That's all there is in Washington, D.C., except big stinky piles of Bravo Sierra that really is based on other big stinky piles of Bravo Sierra. James Doe, appreciate you coming on by. James Doe, why did the chicken cross the road? Okay, we got jokes now in the chat room here. Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it was stapled to the pervert. James Doe, that is going to be very, very not cool. Crossing the line, something else like that, you're going to get bombed out of the chat room. Not cool. So we're basically gonna give you a you can't make comments now for 300 seconds to think your way through on these things. Martina Sasquatch, that sounded what happened to me after hitting the buffet in Reno 2 nights in a row. Yep. I mean, that's what you have happen sometimes when you go to those all you can eat places. Is it? Oh, it looks so good, but yeah. Or you have the Duke Nukem approach and
blow it out your ass.
I think he might have. Oh man. So James Doe, you were writing a timeout. No more of those type of jokes in my chat room, on my channel, or amongst my compatriots. Has no place here. Okay. Do it again, you're gonna get banned. Let's see. Scrolly. Anyway, so here we go back now into the storyline. The GOP, patreonalerts.com. And I love when they do these little stupid warning things. You know, it's like, yeah, go to the website. I am perfectly fine with it. Marcy Sasquatch, issues with volume, not food safety. Ew. Yeah, apparently he had a little bit of a problem with, you know, you've just given open license to Sound Guy, right? Are you done, Sound Guy? Or is it basically we're now going to be continuing to talk about Martina Sasquatch and his time in the porcelain convenience?
Fatality.
Oh, I'm sure his colon was not happy. He was thinking, okay, possibly it's over.
Fatality.
Yeah, apparently things went things just went wrong. All right, so the GOP finally gets a set of baby nuts. Let's see if they have a larger set of nuts and they actually start acting like they have a pair of nuts. Coming from patreonalerts.com, GOP puts Joe Biden on notice. Quote, we will roll out the red carpet for Elon Musk to testify before committee, end quote. House GOP leaders said when they talked to Elon Musk or his team about testifying before the House Oversight Committee as part of their new probe into the President Joe Biden and his walking scandal of a son, Hunter Biden. Yeah. Patriot Fever, I'm trying to figure out how dude got hold of the I am butthurt button. No. It's literally in the publisher of a chat room has, you can click on anybody's name. There's the three dots beside their name, and I'll just read off the choices here. Pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on channel, and quote, add moderator. I'm not doing that. Okay. So basically what happened was is James Doe made an off-color joke, shall we say, and I found it completely inappropriate. So he got himself a timeout. If he does anything else that's snarky, he's done. Okay? Don't do that. 300 seconds. Consider it as a first warning and only warning. Scroll. Representative James Comer, good dude, Republican Kentucky, said, quote, I've reached out to Elon Musk through back channels to tell him that we would love for him to come to the committee. I'm pretty confident he's going to provide more information, but he is welcome to come before our committee. We will roll out the red carpet for Elon Musk. Quote, he's doing a great service to the Oversight Committee in America by disclosing all the emails and correspondence between the Biden campaign and the DNC and Twitter. Quote, what I want to know is, what is this Russian disinformation? Did you all make this up, or was it an FBI involvement situation? Wow. This is not going to end easy, folks. Okay, trust me on this one. Yeah, this is not going to be one of those things that basically slides on by, and it will be one of those things that potentially is going to get some minor, butt introspection upon the ruling class. Let's see on this one. Well, the military, I gotta be so careful now. I actually got dinged for a week on YouTube. That's why I couldn't publish one. But I will try to posit this most generically so they don't do anything. How do I say this? So the people who are the bunch of E's in YouTube, Google, Alphabet, call it what you will, speaking about the and not talking about vid. You know what the beginning part of that word is for the vid? Yeah. You'd have to be a co-sponsor of the vid. Got it? Got it. Okay, we're all on board now. But the military transgender mandate has gone down in flames. Well, we're not talking about the Chinese Communist COVID infection. But that is also a news story as well, that the military mandate about the Chinese Communist COVID infection and the absolute need to get the shot has now been knocked out as well. But the transgender mandate has gone down in flames. Scrolly. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I really want to be snarky here, but I got to be very, very careful because this guy falls into one of the protected classes. Yes. Imagine, if you would, a guy with a very porn star style mustache. Oh, no, sound guy. He does that too, okay? He does that too. But somebody with a very porn star style mustache, who obviously, well, yeah, I don't know about chomp, but I think he more than ever would be saying it's not a problem if you but I pooped from there. Well, there's possibly other things you could be doing too. Yeah, I think there's other things you could be doing too, and that's probably the kind of lifestyle which this guy tends to ascribe towards. Okay. Anyway, so we all know now what dude was doing amongst his fellows. So if you look at him, it's a bald guy with a porn star mustache who dresses like basically dresses like a girl. Okay, that's about the easiest way to describe the guy. Okay. Anyway, so the troubled Biden administration official who was appointed to the DOE, or the Department of Energy, Office of Nuclear Energy, has been accused of stealing women's luggage at an airport for the second time this year. Self-described gender fluid, quote unquote, pup handler. I don't know what that term means. I tend to think it's something kind of like lifestyle related. But anyway, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Energy Sam Brenton was put on leave by the department after official was charged with stealing luggage at the Minneapolis St. Paul Airport on September 16, according to court documents. This is the second occurrence where this guy has basically done it. So a felony warrant was reportedly issued for the Biden official on charges of grand larceny over items with a value between $1,200 and $5,000, according to records seen by KLAS News TV. So the Deputy Assistant Secretary is in charge of spent nuclear fuel and waste disposal, according to the Office of Nuclear Energy's website. Brinson was one of the federal government's first appointed gender fluid officials and was granted a top secret Q clearance with a $178,663 a year yearly salary. In January of the year, according to the National Pulse, quote, I lead a staff of hundreds and a budget of millions with the nuclear waste fund. I'm responsible for over $45 billion. As leader of the office overseeing the management of the spent nuclear fuel, Brinson said in a tweet. There's no other way to describe this guy other than to simply say he kind of looks a little bit like, well, he looks like an alien, all right? That's about the only way I can express it. Let me see if I can't cheat the photo here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But the guy kind of looks... he kind of looks a bit like an alien. So let me show you the good porn star picture. That one, yeah, that's just money right there, man. Yes, that is just hot. Yeah, man. Yeah. So anyway, this guy, and I'm saying that generically because he's gender fluid, and I don't want to insult anybody who might have gender fluidity coursing through their whatever. Anyway, so this guy basically has now been busted for a second time stealing female luggage. Zach, I'm not taking that out of the room, but yeah, let's just say very much like that song by Aerosmith, dude looks like a lady. Yeah. Luck be a lady tonight. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, so supposedly second time doing it again. Quote, former drag queen, the DOE official was the LGBTXY PDQ activist who had, quote, lectured about, quote unquote, kink on college campuses and advocated puppy dog BDSM fetish role play for students. I don't know what any of that stuff means. First arrested in Minnesota, involved the theft of a woman's blue Vera Bradley suitcase. Those aren't cheap, man. From the baggage claim area of the Minnesota airport, according to the complaint, Britain allegedly removed the suitcase ID tag after grabbing it from the carousel, according to camera security footage. That's kind of like you basically just said, well, I'm the guy who's running around with all this stuff because...
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Yeah. So anyway, the DOE appointment quickly left the area after taking the bag and then fled into an Uber. Now, here's the thing. As an Uber driver, I can tell you this for a fact. After the fact, if Uber had found out he was transporting stolen goods using Uber, they would simply go, you know what? You're deplatformed. We're just going to basically pop that thing off and it's gone. Shady226. Appreciate you coming by, dude. But yeah, supposedly using Uber in the transmission or commission of any kind of crime, they deplatform you. So dude literally should be booted off of Uber with a quickness. And if Uber was smart, they would boot him off. It was later spotted in Minnesota airport with a stolen bag while traveling to Washington, D.C. on September 18 and October 9, according to investigators. After the arrest, Britton initially denied stealing the bag, but told law enforcement he mistook it as his own. Yeah, he's always flying with Vila Bradley bags. I mean, they're not that expensive. Despite not having any bags checked in and had no reason to be in the baggage claim area, according to court filings. Victim of the attempted theft said the contents of her stolen bag were valued at $2,325. That's a felony. The DOE Department Secretary made a plea to the preliminary court hearings to be held remotely due to quote unquote financial difficulties commuting between Washington, D.C. and Minnesota. Dude, it's not that blanking expensive, okay? Let's just do a really stupid quick, look at right here. Let's just go very simple, easy, and stupid and say he's flying out of Reagan National Airport, okay? So DCA to he was getting popped in let's see which airport was it? Harry Reid International Airport. Wow, I can't even touch that one. Okay, so DCA to Harry Reid International Airport, and that would be going from DCA Harry Reid International Airport. That's Las Vegas. Wow, I thought it happened in Minnesota. Second time, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Okay, Minneapolis, St. Paul. That was the second occasion. So LAS or Las Vegas Airport. That's Harry Reid. So the second one was going to be at Minneapolis. So Minneapolis, St. Paul Airport. Frontier's 159, JetBlue is 170, Delta is 228, American is 258. You go with XPD, you can find $84 flights. Okay, come on, it's not like the place is that damn expensive to get to. Nuke up the snook, dude. Spend as much time scrubbing missile silos if you know what I mean. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, you say? Oh jeez. Apparently he's well.
This is my boomstick. Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Yeah, I think probably there was a little too much of that going on there, and yeah. Oh wow. Flame on. Oh, jeez. Hope we didn't have to deal with too much of yeah. I know the chicks are just grossed out even. So anyway, basically, federal felony warrant was issued with an unbonded official in charge of grand larceny of items between the value of $1,200 and $5,000 according to records seen by KLAS. This guy's in charge of too much expensive stuff and all kinds of sketchy don't go there's, and it's bad juju, man. Bad juju. Excuse me one second here. My phone's going off. Hopefully I'll find some more work. Nope. Damn annoying. Gives me a request for a run. Shady226. Haha, you said he was getting popped. I'll cover the cost of the oh no. I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, I think there may have been a little bit of just some getting down time. Oh jeez. Oh no. What happens in the luggage area stays in the luggage area. Apparently. Wow. He's like way the hell out there, and yipes. Just yipes. Because that guy, no, he doesn't like. No, he doesn't like. He prefers
This is my boomstick.
He prefers boomstick. Okay, that's about as clean as I can get it. So the guy got some Elton John. Think we need some Rocket Man right now. Oh, jeez. I'll look around for that one. That's actually pretty funny. Basically, find some Rocket Man. Oh, actually, I would dearly love to do the Bill Shatner version, but the biggest problem is all the copyright stuff. So I got to be really, really, really careful about that. But yeah, Rocket Man, that's on the list, dude. That one that's a good one. I like that because yeah, obviously when you're talking about guys who don't prefer, yeah, and they prefer boomstick. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so getting into it, and another side of the equation is stuff that's kind of sketch. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one is kind of one of those kind of I told you so things. This is truthpress.com, but of all places, and I bounced this off my Australian friend, and he's like, man, this is stuff they're testing in out of the way areas to see how it flies. So anyway, what's going on now is Nigeria has banned ATM cash withdrawals to $45 a day to push digital payment as a alternative to hard-won currency. This story dating in 3 days ago on Tuesday, Nigeria's central bank announced a new directive that restricts large amounts of cash from being withdrawn from automatic teller machines. According to the report, Nigeria restricted ATM cash withdrawals from $337, which would be 150,000 naira, or naira, it's Naira, to only 20,000 naira per day, or $45 for individuals and businesses in order to encourage the use of Nigeria's central bank digital currency, or the CBDC. The central bank announced a weekly cap on cash withdrawals of $225, or 100,000 naira, for individuals and 500,000 naira for businesses, with a cost of 5 and 10% respectively for amounts in excess of the limit. The new policy will take effect on January 9, 2023. According to from Nigeria's central bank, letter to all deposit money banks, DMBSs, and other financial institutions, payment service banks, PSBs, primary mortgage banks, PMBs, and microfinance banks, which are MFBs. Excuse me, there's too many damn acronyms there. Naira redesign policy, revised cash withdrawal limits. To further the launch of the redesigned Naira notes by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on Wednesday, November 23, 2022, in line with the cashless policy of the CB, all deposit money banks, DMBs, and other financial institutions, OFIs, are hereby directed to note and comply with the following. 1. Maximum cash withdrawal over-the-counter OTC by individuals and corporations per week shall henceforth be 100,000 and 500,000 respectively. Withdrawals above those limits shall be extract and processing. They say shall extract processing fees of 5 and 10% respectively. Third-party checks above Naira 50,000 shall not be eligible for payment over the counter, while extant limits of 10 million on clearing checks still subsist. And of course, it goes onward and onward and onward and more and more and blah, 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 blah. Visible means of identification of payee, bank verification number of a payee, notarized customer declaration of purpose of the cash withdrawal. First thing I would do with these
juggling thunder
is first and foremost, I would say all my money is getting converted into gold. Next, all these king guys can go cuck off because they are not going to take my money and yeah, and basically as I complain and excuse me, hello, banking industry in Nigeria, I got something I want to ask you, and it falls on deaf ears. Yeah, most especially as they're taking all the cash out of your pocket and saying, you better use this digital stuff. I find it to be telling that it's like they're giving these guys almost no time at all to do these things. So I would extract all my funds into purchases of gold, and probably I'd get the hell out of Nigeria and tell them in no uncertain terms, don't need you. I'm out of here. And I am not going to deal with your...
Snoo!
No. That is not snoo. That is most assuredly going to be...
Death!
Yeah. Oh no, Martina Sasquatch was talking about the other guy and his puppy thing. The critter's so sick he needs a partner to put on a dog mask, and I'll expose you to no more the bottom of the iceberg. Okay, I got it. So basically, they're almost furries. Furries are basically guys that put on like animal costumes and go to town wearing animal costumes as they are quote unquote yiffing. Patron Fever Room says, yeah, I prefer my currency. It comes with denominations of 22, 9mm, 45 ACP, 308 Winchester, 50, and 120 grain broadhead. Last one comes with prejudice. Quietly. Almost forgot the 5.56. Yeah, yep. Works for me, dude. Yep. Works for me. Let's see. Scrolly. This one, this is utterly yummy. And I love the way they keep doing this Patriot Alert thing on like Google. They're like, oh, it could be unsafe. It's not a safe connection. Yeah, guess what? I'm still going to go there. And I'm going to use you guys as the conduit just to tell you, I'm getting a little itch here. Yeah. This one coming in, patriotalerts.com. U.S. intel agents who dismissed the Hunter Biden story to be subpoenaed. Because even the New York Times is now recognizing the fact that the Hunter Biden laptop, there's a story behind it. Yeah, there is a story behind it. Indeed, there is. Quote, Kevin McCarthy, who I really, truly don't trust, going to bring them before committee. We're going to subpoena them before the committee. Why they signed it? Why they lied to the American public? Blah, blah, blah. You know, it's going to be very interesting when these guys actually have to answer the hard questions. And if they don't answer the questions, they get drug up. Another guy basically doing the FIFA thing dies as a journalist in Qatar. Very, very sketchy. I almost wonder sometimes if those guys who are basically going over there, if they didn't get a hold of a little bit of the... Oh, yeah. Because, you basically have the news guys, and they have to be so safe from the... So they had to get the... Yeah, just to be safe, everybody's got to get the... Yeah. Scroll. This I found absolutely hilarious. Truthpress.com, Tucker Carlson, Musk's experiment showed at least 80% of Twitter's payroll wasn't doing much. It's too much fun. It's too much fun. It's basically a video, and I don't want to play those, because it gets in all kinds of weird copyright stuff. But essentially what happened is that Musk was saying, look, come to the office or don't come in at all. This one I think is absolutely amazing what it does have happen. But the Iowa vote, Republicans winning the Iowa House election by only 11 votes after a recount. Now, what does that say essentially for the first count that they did? Somebody was kind of shaving a few votes, maybe. Yeah, Iowa House District 81 race is nothing short of chaotic. After a series of 4 recounts, Republican Lana Stoltenberg has officially defeated Democrat Craig Cooper for Iowa's House District 81 in that seat. Per ABC affiliate WQAD, the recount board carried out both a machine recount and a hand recount. The machine recount declared Democrat Craig Cooper as the winner. Isn't that interesting? However, a hand recount revealed Stoltenberg won the race by 11 votes, garnering 5,073 votes to Cooper's 5,062 votes. Interesting how this has happened. So despite Cooper winning the machine recount, Tompkins said Iowa law dictates the recount board can choose the results to use when certifying the report. That's why the recount board chose to certify the hand count instead of the machine count. This needs to have happen more and more, folks, because these machines, well, even in Florida, which has had major fixes on its, Gore versus Bush election with the hanging chads, the dimple chads, and all the rest of that stupidity. It's kind of one of those sketch things where you need to make things happen right. But even they had problems in Maricopa County where their election machines supposedly weren't working for the Republicans, but working just fine for the Democrats. So I think when it comes down to it, a lot of these machines simply cannot be trusted. And if you're going to do it right, I've been listening to Adam Wilkow and Hannity and all these guys, and they seem to kind of have it right. You basically make Election Day a federal holiday. You elect on that one day. We're not having a season of election. You elect on that one day. Those people who cannot make it to obviously vote, obviously the military overseas, and those guys who are basically, in bad health, destitute, call it what you will, are known quantities. There's not going to be like boxes parked everywhere for them to go, oh, yeah, well, here's this extra box we found. Let's just bring these votes in too, which are probably 99.5% Democrat. Yeah, that stuff doesn't need to happen anymore. I'm going to be really, really careful on how I phrase this one, but I'm going to try to be cute and being snarky at the same time. So how can I do this without getting busted? Well, let's just say a couple of news whores were fired for King. Yeah, they were fired for King. And you know that there was probably some F going on with the King. So yeah, these news whores were fired for King. Amy Rohrbach and TJ Holmes were taken off the air by ABC News chiefs after an affair scandal. Good Morning America anchors Amy Rohrbach and TJ Holmes have been taken off the air amid a scandal of their bombshell affair. ABC News President Kim Godwin announced Monday during an internal call the pair would not host their daily 1 p.m. show. It's probably because they're a little too busy. What were they probably doing? And here's the news. Yeah, there was probably a little bit of that going on, and maybe just a bit of here's the news story. As soon as these people come out from behind the curtain. Oh, they're done. Okay, they're done. Okay. So Godwin told staffers on the call that the alleged affair had become, quote, too much of an internal and external distraction. She said, quote, after a lot of thought, I'm taking Amy and TJ off the air as we figure this out. It may have been just a little bit more of a distraction, but it's like, and here, oh man, here's Amy Rohrbach and TJ Holmes telling you what's going on in the news at 1. Oh, give him a minute. Just a second. Wait a minute. Okay, now they're ready to come on the air. Godwin added that the alleged affair, quote, was not a violation of company policy, end quote. The decision was to take them out of their anchor chairs was necessary for the, quote, GMA brand. Okay, 1 o'clock, it's not Good Morning anymore. Susan Ramos and Guido Benitez will host the GMA3 on Monday while further internal meetings take place in the network about how to handle this scandal. The anchors for the rest of the week are still to be decided. Multiple sources told Page 6 the alleged affair had not gone well with top GMA anchor Robin Roberts, who is not only very religious, but also doesn't like this kind of scandal tainting the show. No, but she's a completely scandalous news skank. Oh, please. Pier 6 reported that Roberts, 62, had confronted Rohrbach, 49, and Holmes, 45, about the affair, and Insutter told Roberts, pulled them both aside and basically said, stop it. Stop going. Stop it. Stop doing it. No, come on. Stop. Stop. Stop that. That too. And all of that. No more. Rohrbach and Holmes' relationship was outed last week after the pair was spotted meeting in bars near ABC's Midtown studios. Yeah, it isn't like just co-workers hanging out, maybe because under the covers. I don't know, man. Was there anything else going on there? I mean, what else could have possibly set them off and said possibly something was sketch as these two were sitting in the bar together? Could there have possibly been other activities? Yeah, and there's probably some old lady sitting at the other table going, I'll have what she's having. Ugh, wow. Bakery Fever. How's that for a family friendly? Well, they're just trying to make a family. It's fine. It's believed Holmes and Rohrbach's rants could have begun as early as the spring. Other sources close to the anchors insist the affair began in August when they separated from their respective spouses, Marilee Fiebig and Andrew Shue. So apparently these two were like, I'm splitting from him. I'm splitting from her. Hey, let's get together and, possibly just do a little bit of, that. That wasn't even a little bit, but that was just full on, warning to the coworkers that these two were possibly just doing,
Death! By Snoo!
Oh, there was most definitely
Snoo!
that. Yes.
Snoo!
Yes.
Snoo!
Yes.
Snoo!
Yes. Lots. And maybe if she was accommodating, just a little bit of along with the
Snoo!
yeah. So she had snoo and wee just in case. Scrolly. I found this unbelievably hilarious. As much as California stridently says that they're so inclusive, anti-racist, anti-fascist, and all the rest of these happy leftard terms that they tend to utilize. So in the process of using these leftard terms, they truly do inspire people to just go, you know what? You guys really just do things only in a way that you possibly could, and only in the matter of what you possibly can find yourselves in any way, shape, and form. Nobody else does it better than the guys in California. Okay, I am not elucidating like Rush. And to him, man. Anyway, so Governor Newsom announces a major payday. Voters stand up and say no to California-style reparations, which makes out California such a racist state now. They're the new racists. So anyway, what's going on is essentially Newsom said we need to basically recompense all the former slaves and residents in California. Guess they really don't know the history because California was never a slave state. So anyway, in recent years, Democrats have been increasingly vocal about quote-unquote reparations. This is the idea the government should quote-unquote pay back Black Americans for slavery. But I know what you're thinking. No living American has ever been a slave. Yep, you catch it on. Many cities consider reparations an unconstitutional scheme to redistribute wealth and manipulate minority voters. But one major blue state, they are hell-bent on making a reality costing hard-working taxpayers pay potentially billions. but the less particular scheme is just hit a wall. So anyway, what happened is the population of the state, 54% opposed to reparation schemes, such as those being considered in California, St. Louis, Virginia's Loudoun County, and on Capitol Hill. As more specifically, if they wanted to plan to require new taxes to cover the descendants, 63% were in opposition and only 29% were in support. But they're racist for saying that. Too much fun. Shady226, thanks, man. So yeah, look at that. According to Biden, Americans are suffering rampaging inflation, skyrocketing interest rates, but Biden's already passed a bill to make new your taxes next year go through the roof. And now many Democrats at the state level want you to pay more taxes and give that money to black people. Man, I've spoken to a number, people of color, and they're like, man, I was never a slave. Nobody I know was ever a slave. They need to just get past this. I'm past this. It's like, we want to need to be and only be our own people at this point. I do have something absolutely hilarious, and this one is possibly a really good picture. There is now potential for another person they're thinking of running instead of Joe Kaka. That's right. They have somebody else other than, President. That's right. They got somebody other than. That's right. Somebody other than Joe Kaka. That's right. They think as the guy who could be the stand-up person to basically replace Joe Kaka is Bernie Sanders. This picture is beyond. I actually got to drop down the brightness a little bit so you guys can see it. It is absolutely one of the worst pictures of this guy. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely horrendous. I mean, he definitely has not even like the Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty thing going on. He doesn't have the doctor, from like Back to the Future going on. He just has crazy blanking old guy thing going on. You gotta be the kind of guy that'll make you raging crazy man in appearance. But yeah, if Biden doesn't run in 2024, an even older Democrat leaders. So an even older Democrat leader is strongly considering a run for president, Bernie Sanders. Uncle Creepy. Man. So anyway, let's just do a simple thing here and look at it real hard and fast. So in terms of age, Bernie would have to give it a hard look if Biden doesn't run. But were he to win the presidency in 2024, he would be 83 years old upon assuming office. Yeah. Who's this Shakur guy? Foz Shakur told CBS News that Bernie would have to, quote, give it a hard look if Biden doesn't run. Like I said, it's coming in from patriotjournal.com. That's the apparent caveat for Bernie. Joe has to bow out, and if he does, the Vermont senator will give it another try. And the ironic part about it is that Sanders is actually a year older than Biden. Yikes. Right now, one of the biggest strikes against Biden is his age. But that isn't dissuading Sanders, according to Shakur. Quote, were he to win the presidency in 2024, he'd be 83 years old upon assuming office. Shakur says Sanders, quote, is very aware he's older now and would have to make a real judgment about his own vigor and stamina and desire and hunger and passion to do it a third time. Face palm. That's all I got is face palm. Face palm. Face palm. If you've been rejected a few times before, hey, you ain't the guy, okay? You're just, no. You're assuming... Okay, I'll allow it. You're assuming Kaka status because you're trying to place... So you're going to be... Yeah, you're assuming... I was going to say he's assuming Kaka status. Kaka status. Holy crap. If you don't have one bad old guy, you have to get an older bad guy. This is the kind of stuff that I read about that really just pisses me off because what these guys should be doing their job to do in Washington, D.C., and they're falling on their dicks and not doing it this is the kind of stuff that happens. I say most expressly, just bust these effing commies and ship them to a bad jail in Alaska, which will be the closest they're ever going to be to going back to China. TruthPress.com. More secret CCCP police stations discovered in 3 U.S. cities. A nonprofit group has discovered 48 new overseas police stations with ties to the Chinese Communist Party, including 2 previously unknown facilities in Los Angeles and New York. The facilities are used by the Chinese Communist Party, or the CCP, carrying out an illicit campaign of transnational repression, according to the Safeguard Defenders, a nonprofit organization that published on December 5 an update to its findings that previous investigation released in October. Quote, it's outrageous that the Chinese Communist government is exercising extraterritorial law enforcement on U.S. soil. Representative Nicole Maliotakis, Republican New York, told the Epic Times in an email, quote, it should be the top priority of Secretary Blinken and Attorney General Garland to shut down these stations to protect our Chinese American constituents and among our nation's sovereignty from foreign encroachment. Maliotakis was among several Republican lawmakers who issued a letter in October demanding explanations from the Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Attorney General Merrick Garland for the facility's continuing existence. The Safeguard Defenders report found that 4 separate police departments in mainland China helped create the facilities, which the regime began setting up in 2016. Those in New York and Los Angeles were established in 2018 and overseen by the Wenzhou Public Security Bureau, located in China's Zhejiang province. The facilities are literally created to assist Chinese immigrants in foreign nations with the tasks normally being handled by a consulate, such as renewing driver's license and visas. Increasingly, however, the stations have been linked to the CCCP's United Front Department, or the UFWD, an agency that works to advance the regime's interests abroad by spreading propaganda, conducting foreign influence operations, suppressing dissident movements, gathering intelligence, and facilitating the transfer of technology to communist China. Most notably, linked the stations to CCP's Operation Fox Hunt, a transnational scheme designed to forcibly repatriate dissidents and other targets of the regime back to mainland China to face communist persecution. Here's the thing. Is they tell them, you better move back or your family will suffer. You might be living in freedom here and we can't do a blanket thing about it, but you better move back or your cousin so-and-so and your mother and your brother and all these other people in your family, they might just disappear. So they get very, very mafia style. You know, it'd be a real horrible thing if some accident were to occur to your family members. We ensure their safety, or we're trying to ensure their safety. But, you know, things happen. And when they do happen, it's beyond our control because you haven't given us the proper motivation to assist them in this regard. And that's literally the way it would happen, is they would basically just walk these guys and go, okay, hey, by the way, why don't you go ahead and check out this steel mill? Oh, I don't work in a steel mill. Yeah, you do. Poof. Yeah. And they would be dead ducks. Because when it comes right down to it and you have communism, human rights are on the bottom rung every trip of the train. Or it could just simply say, you know what, we're just going to take this guy out because, it's cheaper to spend the rounds rather than to simply do anything else. So there's somebody else basically. FBI Director Christopher Wray said the stations were a violation of the U.S. sovereignty and were being investigated. Quote, I have to be careful about discussing our specific investigative work, but to me, it's outrageous to think the Chinese police would attempt to set up shop, in New York, let's say, without proper coordination. No, there's no proper coordination. When they do that, you investigate them and you catch them doing that, you arrest them and you send them to the nastiest blanking jail you could possibly find, and you make sure that they know that if they send anybody else, those guys will also go to that jail. Like I said, send them to Alaska. It's about as close as they're ever going to get to being back in China ever again. Put the word out to these guys. If you come here and you do this and we catch you, you ain't going back home. We will stick you with so many charges. You will be under the jail for life. Yeah, you're going to be eating 3 hots and a cot and all the rest of that fun stuff, but you're not going to go back to China. You're not ever going to be serving the Communist Party ever again. You're going to be stuck in a box going, yeah, that was a really stupid move to have to follow these guys rather than simply going, I'm in America. I'm free. You know what? I'm going to claim asylum and be a dissident myself. If that happened more, the Chinese would lose face, lose power, and absolutely nobody would want to basically follow their games anymore. So anyway, I think it's really interesting. Like, you have like Project Veritas and, all these other like quasi news guys doing this stuff and finding this stuff out and checking these things out. It's very interesting. This one I got to break in from like, it's actually like an Instagram or a tweet or some such, but I got to be very, very charitable on how I phrase this. Okay. So we're going to be talking about the
Chinese Communist COVID virus infection. Shots.
We're talking about that. Okay, so everybody's on board. So the government intended on bringing the
Chinese Communist COVID virus infection. Shots.
passports and back by now. But thanks to the Freedom Convoy and all the freedom fighters, many people have now woken up. This was coming in from Mark, who's got like, the box or whatever. Mark H _ 1991. As a result, only 20% of Canadians are, quote, up to date on
The Chinese Communist COVID virus infection. Shots.
and the government knows they can't bring back passports if a majority are non-compliant. This was posted up at 11:32 p.m. on the 11th, so only a few days ago, and that was up on Twitter. I find that to be blanking awesome. Bloody awesome. Manchin says he's going to actually act less like a retard. Whatever. He's still... Yeah. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but Stephen D'Antonio, assistant director in charge of the FBI Washington field office, has announced his retirement. Quote, after a 26-year, 10-month career in the FBI, I choose to retire, D'Antonio wrote. Yesterday was my last day. Dude, you aren't safe now, okay? If you did it, you will pay for it. And they will catch you, and you're going to be busted. Let's see. Scroll. There was supposedly like an FBI counsel guy that was working at Twitter. Well, Elon Musk tossed that guy. Let's see. Scrolly. This guy, I really think he is just how do I say this without saying this? But he's just a
Hot juggling thunder.
just a rooster juggling thunder meow. That's the nicest way I could say it. Okay. So anyway, talking about nobody other than the former, now the current, yet again, Disney CEO Bob Iger. Quote: those of us in positions to influence laws, shape culture, quote, have extra responsibility to push gun control. End quote. Bob Iger, you. I really want to say something, but just. If I had my druthers and a 12, or a few pound sledgehammer, that would be what I'd want. Just. Oh, okay. You think guns are the problem? We'll bet you want sledgehammer control now. All right. Anyway, so that turd is now creating mayhem. But the whole thing about it is he's based in Florida, okay? Florida is jokingly referred to as not just the Sunshine State, but it's also referred to as the Gunshine State. I got friends that live down there, and it's like if you got a carry permit, you walk into the gun store, you do your instant check, you basically take delivery of the handgun right blanking then. Yes, that's the way it should be done. Not, I got to wait a few days to let my anger go away, or I am joking there. But anyway, I thought this one was absolutely hilarious. And this is coming from, of all things, Titanic director, the guy that did all the Terminator movies, Avatar stuff, director James Cameron. He says it's now better that, well, he's getting rid of that toxic testosterone. Especially Kate Winslet hates his freaking guts. So he's such an epic tool. He makes okay movies, but he's a blanking asshole, the highest order. So it's safe to say he's attained maggot status of being, manhood wishy-washiness. Substitute the first letter of maggot with an F, because he is. Ugh. This one, I cannot do this one justice. And this one is snarky about, well, the Chinese Communist covert viral infection in such a way that even they can't get their, algorithms to recognize it. But it is absolutely hilarious. The unbelievable cognitive dissonance of the left. Oh, no. They're that kind of cognitive dissonance. That's what we're talking about here. Nicole Saphier, so Saphier, MD. So she's a doctor, and she does a blue check, so she's on Twitter with that one. But she says this, quote, "My kids' school sent a note saying they can wear Halloween costumes at school tomorrow as long as they don't cover their faces because it will, quote, hinder the learning environment," end quote. I was waiting for the punchline at the end, but apparently they didn't see the irony in their own messages. I cannot do it justice. That is blanking so spot on, man. She absolutely nailed it. Excuse me. Zach says, if you CCW in Mississippi, you don't need a background check. Dude, Mississippi, you really don't even need a CCW. I mean, I've talked to friends years ago were like, towing like 18, 19 years old, driving around, had a 1911 on the dashboard, got pulled over, right? So the cop basically walks up to the car, sees the handgun there, and so the kid looks at him, he's like, he's got his hands on the steering wheel. He's like, trooper, that pistol's loaded. What do you want me to do with it? He goes, well, it's loaded, right? He goes, yes, sir, it's loaded. He goes, well, that's how it's supposed to be, right? He goes, yes, sir. He goes, well, I'll tell you what, if you don't pull yours, I won't pull mine. He's like, okay. Like, get your license registration. Basically just gave him a normal traffic stop. Handgun sitting right there at arm's reach the whole time. No issues. It's a different way of thinking down south, folks. Trust me on that one. Scrolly. Another one that I found is a meme I found absolutely hilarious. Gen Z. Grandpa, they ever teach you CQB and room clearing? Grandpa, yeah, but our techniques were a little different. Grandpa's techniques. You see a couple guys walking around with flamethrowers going. Too good. This one I find completely illustrative of the lack of understanding on how the world actually works, and these guys do it for a living. Supposedly, Walmart CEO announces store closures and higher prices are looming thanks to rampant crime. Walmart can face store closures and price increases because of large-scale retail theft. The CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon, told CNBC on Tuesday, large-scale shoplifting has become a growing issue. Or maybe you could just catch the thieves and run their asses into court. Nah, let's just close a few stores and make it inconvenient for everybody. But if you have a store in a sketch area and it's getting robbed like crazy, there's a way to fix that. You basically have undercover cops patrolling the thing. You make the undercover cops bust the dirt bags. The dirt bags then get banned to the stores. And if they do come back, they get their asses handed to them. Wow. DeSantis basically has rumor mill stuff going on about, like, will he run in 24? Will he not run in 24? Well, I would vote for either guy, Trump or DeSantis. However, I'm going to say early in this point in time, Trump's got entirely too much baggage. He's kind of a dinosaur in this regard. DeSantis is only a little bit older than JFK. Well, actually, no, he's actually roughly about the same age as when JFK took office. They're like, oh, yeah, the president was so young and this, that, and the other. It's like, JFK was actually the youngest seated president in the United States at the time. Into current times, he was it. And DeSantis is in roughly about the same age group, which means you basically got somebody who's half the age of Donald Trump and potentially could run later on. I don't know. Be kind of interesting. Toss in grenade and count 10, liberate Homestead. Wow. Too much. Let's see. Scrolly. Scrolly. Hang on a second here. Scroll. Okay, I don't see anybody else saying anything else in the room. I actually was just looking for something else here, but that's okay. So I think I've done all the new stuff. You guys hung out with me today on a Tuesday. I truly appreciate your kind attentions. I know you had many other things to do, but you guys decided to hang out with me, and I truly appreciate your kind attentions. I mean, good stuff like that there, and I always want to. Well, I'll give you a gold star for attendance. Sure, what the hell? But of course, we are going to be getting into the Christmas stuff, and Christmas will actually be taking place on a Sunday, so good stuff on that one. So literally, we got another show in the can before we got to deal with the fat guy coming down the chimney. So good stuff like that one. Mike Pompeo. I like Pompeo. I think, though, unfortunately, it's going to be a situation where you need somebody who has the bragging rights, and Florida has a pretty damn big economy. So I think it really, truly comes right down to it. I think that, well, DeSantis has done a hell of a job. So he's probably going to be the guy that hopefully gets it and does the good stuff like that there. And I would tend to think he's going to be the guy that actually is going to, look good in the long run. Yeah, Trump got a lot of people elected, but you still got 2 more years for people to just beat him up and make him look bad and all the rest of that fun stuff. And also, that other thing, too, is once you got a reputation, it is really damn hard to get rid of it. So, here we find ourselves in the closing times, and I truly appreciate your kind attention. You guys hanging out with me tonight. Eat good, keep thundering as always. You know it, you love it. And I will see you guys next week and good stuff like that there. Yes, I am still banned on Facebook. So another 30-day run on Facebook, but now YouTube's working. Oh, well. Catch you guys later and have a good night. And I'll see you then and good stuff like that there. And see you guys later.